Joining me in our session, how are upgrades different in the cloud, Dynamics 365 Business Central, and Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations, is Tracy Santos, who is the Client Engagement Manager at Encore. Thank you for joining us today, Tracy, and I will pass it over to you.
Thank you, Tess. Good morning or afternoon, depending on where in the world you're joining us from. I'm Tracy Santos, as Tess introduced me, from Encore Business Solutions, and it is my pleasure to be presenting the How Are Upgrades Different in the Cloud session. For the next 25 minutes, we will be discussing this topic, and please feel free to enter your questions as we go through the presentation. Microsoft Dynamics 365 family of products were built with the cloud in mind. There's no possibility of malware or ransomware intrusion in D365 since it is designed with security in mind. These solutions give you control over your company's data while also helping to safeguard it from unauthorized access thanks to Microsoft's automatic data center encryption. Moving to the cloud is a safer option to protect your company's confidential and sensitive data. Cyber attacks are becoming more and more common, thus necessary precautions must be taken. Accessibility is another advantage of moving to the cloud. Microsoft gives you the flexibility to work from a desktop, tablet, or mobile device, on-premise or in the cloud, on Windows, Android, or iOS. Let's review how updates work. But first, what is an update and what makes the cloud different than my on-premise servers? So first off, our first acronym, SaaS. So software as a service. We're very familiar with this. We use it probably, you guys all probably use it in your day-to-day lives. You've got Office 365. When you think about our different phone services, our utilities, everything like that, we're billed on a monthly basis, and it's, as you consume it, you're billed. So why should customers trust them that the Microsoft Cloud is secure? Well, Microsoft invests more than $1 billion a year in Dynamics Azure to ensure unmatched security and governance. It also employs more than 3,500 security experts to protect your information. Well, I know that's more than I've got at my office. That's a lot of people working on your behalf. Microsoft collaborates with industry and regulators to build trust in the cloud ecosystem, guided by the following principles. Security, protect confidentiality, integrity, and availability of your data. Privacy and control, control access to and use of your data, which is really important. We don't want our data floating around out there for anyone to access, of course. Privacy and control, control access to and use of your data. Compliance, stored and managed with applicable laws, regulators, and standards. So when, for example, employment taxes change or state or provincial taxes change, you want to make sure that you're up to date. Transparency, visibility into how your data is handled and used, which is very important to all of us. So where is my data physically stored in the cloud? Your data is stored in one of Microsoft's several data centers in the same country in which you're located. And we will be providing more information about that so you can read up on it. What's Dynamics 365 family of products online SLA? Or, gosh, I used another acronym, system level agreement. So Microsoft has a 99.9% SLA in place on the public cloud platform. So pretty much it's always available and always working. No discussion needed on which build or version to upgrade to. Your organization has access to updated technology today. Now, these updates can be automatic, but our team's recommendation is to schedule the major updates rather than having applied at random. So how do the updates work? Well, let's have a discussion about that. First off, we want to make sure we're scheduling those updates. When the updates become available from your environment, a notification email is sent to all notification recipients that you've registered in Administration Center or Lifecycle services, depending on which application you're using. A notification about the update availability is also shown in the Administration Center or Lifecycle Services portal itself. Starting this day, you can schedule the update and time when you prefer the update to happen. The following fields on the environment page can help you plan the update. Available update version specifies the version to which you can update your environment. Update scheduling available specifies whether it's possible for you to change the update date. So you might have planned to do it on December 15th and you've decided that you need to really do it on December 20th. Update rollout state. Microsoft can sometimes postpone the updates for various reasons. This field provides information that can help you track the current state of the rollout. Great, now we know how updates work, but how long do these updates take? Hold on to your hat, minutes. And that's literally how long it takes, minutes. So you might have been used to an on-premise upgrade that took days or even a week. This happens in minutes. So pretty exciting. Again, we've got major updates and minor updates. The D365 family provides a portal for administrators to do administrative tasks for the tenant. Here, administrators can view and work with production and sandbox environments for the tenant. Set upgrade notifications. View telemetry for events on the tenant. This enables troubleshooting and support for the tenant. The Telemetry tab provides telemetry of top-level AL events and any errors resulting from calls through the telemetry stack. So in layman terms, if I went in to update a record and Tess also went in to access the same record, only one of us can have the most update information. So we're going to get a prompting message. So again, you could go into your Lifecycle Services or Administration Center, view the telemetry area, and it'll explain to you why Tess or Tracy received that prompting message. So pretty cool, because we're going to get prompting messages and we want to know what they're about. We can go in and read the telemetry tab. So another thing that Lifecycle Services has from Microsoft Dynamics is it's on its collaboration portal. It provides an environment and a set of regular updated services that can help you manage the application lifecycle of your implementation of finance and operation apps. So it goes a little bit deeper in providing you some additional assets to help support your environments. So in both environments, the following users are authorized to access the Administration Center. Internal tenant administrators. These users are typically system administrators, IT professionals, or super users at the customer's company. Admin agent, help desk agent. The admin agent and help desk agent roles are assigned through the Microsoft Partner Center for the partner that is associated with the tenant. So these roles can access the tenant as delegated administrators. So again, you've got complete control over who's accessing your systems. So very important, the Lifecycle Services and Administration Center provides a tool for you to be able to manage your environments. So who's responsible for what? Well, we all have responsibilities. Microsoft's responsibilities, they manage the service by deploying, actively monitoring, and servicing customer sandbox and production environments in the Microsoft SaaS subscription. This management includes allocating the required system infrastructure to run the service and proactively communicate with customers about the service's health. So responsibilities include infrastructure management, application platform management. So again, they're taking care of that part of it. So again, they've done the update, done all the coding, pushed it out for you to schedule that, and they've done their part of it. So their responsibility is completed. Now, you might have an app provided by an ISV, again, another acronym, or independent software vendor. So they have to go ahead and update their code as well and their functionality and make sure that it's all going to work together. And they're responsible if any exceptions come up or changes that need to be done or anything in the setup needs to be done. Now, what's your responsibility as customer? Well, you've got some responsibilities as well. Maybe there is an exception that comes up or some changes that need to be applied or something needs to be adjusted in the setup. You have your own responsibilities. All right. So again, now we have our environment, so we can go and look and see our sandboxes and our production environments. And what do we need to test? Well, we talked about who's responsible for what. Now we need to talk about testing that. So again, as a client, you're going to test. So we recommend regression testing on core business processes. So for example, you might want to test out doing a check run so that you know you can continue to pay your vendors. Or maybe it's financial statements you want to issue. Well, all of those things should be tested. So again, think about those core business processes and make sure you test them. Again, the IT team might look at something, a change, and say, oh, that seems pretty straightforward. The user might interpret it differently, and that's why we do testing. Really important. All right, so are updates different from the updates different from the upgrades you're used to? Well, let's have a look. There's going to be some similarities. So again, we've got new features, new functionality. That's what we look for. Hey, when a new update comes out or a new an upgrade or release of whether it be Dynamics GP or Dynamics NAV or Dynamics AX, hey, there's new features, functionality. We really want to take advantage of that. So they're similar update, upgrade. Great. Scheduling, well, again, we're going to need to schedule, whether it be our SaaS solution, you can go in and say, oh, I want that to happen on December 15th at 2 o'clock in the morning, because I know no one's going to be on the system. It takes minutes, it's applied. Awesome. If I'm doing my on-premise upgrade and I'm working with a third party, I'm going to need to schedule that. So again, scheduling is important. So let's talk about the differences. Well, in that SaaS environment, as we spoke, it takes minutes. So again, that business interruption isn't going to occur. So again, everyone will be able to use the system right away. When we do an on-premise upgrade, sometimes we can be down for days, it could even be a week. So again, that is a business interruption. So again, minimal downtime in our cloud updates. Different in the sense of, we said scheduling, there were similarities, there's also differences. When I'm going ahead and scheduling my update, I know in certain situations I'm allowed to reschedule that. So for example, December 15th wasn't good, but December 16th is going to be good. I can go and make that change quite easily. It's quite agile. Whereas let's say I was going to go ahead and schedule my on-premise upgrade. Well, I've had to work with a third party. We've worked out our schedules. We know that that time frame is a good time. Now we're not able to do it. That third party might not be available to do the upgrade when I need it done. So again, I've done a lot of planning and now I've had to reorganize that. So there's a difference that it's not as fluid when you're having to reschedule. You're taking ownership of the update. So you're in control. You're managing that. So again, you're not relying on a third party. Sometimes when we do an on-premise upgrade, we need to buy new equipment. Well, no new server required when we're doing a SaaS update. What about all the surrounding software? There's, could be SQL Server, could be different applications that we need to run our hardware. Again, you might need to update that. Well, that doesn't happen when we're doing a SaaS update. Security, sometimes inadvertently, if we have a third-party vendor, an ISV add-on, something could happen where it maybe exposes us to a security risk when we're doing an upgrade. So again, you don't have to worry about that security when we're dealing with a SaaS application. And again, that whole system admin goes away when we're doing our SaaS updates or our cloud updates. 20, 30, 40 years ago, organizations had to adapt their business processes to the way the software worked. Solutions were rigid, had a huge footprint, and in many cases were too expensive to upgrade. So remember that when we had those large applications, whether it be the IBMs or the Oracles of the world, and something would come along where, for example, a regulatory update or a tax change, or we needed to change our invoice, or we went into a new market and we needed to change the way the application went. Sometimes we were just handcuffed. We couldn't make those changes. It was very, very difficult. So in businesses today, we want to be agile. We want to have that flexibility. We want to know that, hey, we're going to go into this market. We're going to need to do this. Hey, we want that ability to have those third-party apps. We want to be able to actually build our own code. So when we're dealing with a Power Platform, you're able to go in and build your own Power App that will work with your D365 family of products, and you can add that functionality yourself. So it's very cool. I put this up there to say, okay, great, we expect a lot. We want our applications to do a lot, and we need them to be responsive and agile and easy to work with, and easy for our teams to work with too. Super important. So today we need solutions that are agile, flexible, scalable, and accessible. Why these updates help eliminate upgrade costs? Well, pull up a chair. Let's first discuss all the quantifiable benefits. What goes away? All right, I don't need to order that new server and wait for that server to come and set up that server. We also have maintenance of that current infrastructure. So whether that be the location that it's in, the air conditioning, real estate's really gotten expensive. So again, I think back to those days when we had mainframes and there was like rooms and rooms of hardware. If you're going to start a business tomorrow, you probably wouldn't go buy a big honking server to run your applications, right? You just wouldn't. What about those dedicated resources for that infrastructure? There's a cost to that. Maintenance plans for software. So again, when we're working with our D365 family of products, that maintenance plan goes away. Downtime, so that business interruption while we're getting the hardware and the software prepared for the upgrade and actually doing the upgrade. What if there was a server outage or we were attacked from the outside? We're vulnerable, and again, there's business interruption, and that costs us money. Third-party upgrade services. So if I'm engaging a professional services organization to do the upgrade, there's a cost to that. What about all the planning and preparation time? Because we have to collaborate with our team members to find out when's a good time for them, who's going to do what, who's going to do the testing, who's going to make test scripts, all of that. So again, a lot more invasive. Disaster recovery. And we're going to talk a little bit about that in an upcoming slide. But again, there's a cost to if the server had a catastrophic event or a natural disaster happen, there's a cost to that. So that's just the beginning of the benefits. Get peace of mind knowing your sensitive business data is stored in highly security, state-of-the-art data centers owned and managed by Microsoft. Your data will be there when you need it, thanks to the 99.9% uptime service level agreement. Again, we've got to remember that. Enable scalability and flexibility. So again, supporting your business growth without costly changes to your IT infrastructure, including the ability to quickly activate and deploy new users. Improve IT productivity by reducing the complexity associated with managing hardware and software and providing support. Eliminate the hassle of software maintenance tasks such as backups, upgrades, and patches. Free up IT staff to focus on strategic planning and other high priority work items. Typically, customer relationship management and enterprise resource planning data has been maintained separately. Dynamics 365 lets you connect this data for a 360-degree view of your business and access it from familiar solutions like Microsoft Office and Microsoft Power BI. So when you're in Office, right in your Outlook, you can actually process work that goes to the ERP system. It's pretty cool. Enhance your Dynamics 365 experience with pre-built business applications developed by Microsoft and select partners available through the Microsoft App Source Marketplace. So again, we've got that whole library of add-on applications to fulfill needs that might not come out of the box. So if your business has a unique need, build apps using Microsoft Power Platform and customize and extend them. Again, we want to be able to enhance teamwork and boost productivity by accessing information from anywhere at any time from any device. Enable remote employees to share information in real time, allowing for easier and more efficient collaboration. Give your team the tools and information they need to compete, succeed, and excel by providing access to innovations like AI and predictive analysis. So again, a lot of benefits there. So let's go and have a quick chat about those real life examples that I mentioned earlier for disaster recovery. So client was really well versed with using cloud solutions, so Office 365, SharePoint and Teams, but they were really kind of wanted to keep their ERP system on premise. We kind of walked them through what we were talking about today and talked about all the benefits, and they did move to the cloud And it's a good thing because shortly thereafter, they had a huge fire and all of their infrastructure was destroyed. So they were pretty happy they had made that decision. And we had another client very interested in moving forward in their technology journey. Part of their corporate objectives included moving all workloads into the cloud. But a ransomware attack put the organization in a very stressful and challenging situation, not to mention the business interruption and the accompanying costs. The value of investing in go-forward applications for them was priceless. So again, it delayed all of that initiative, that strategic initiative, and we had to hold off on that. So, and it happens quite often. Even I think about our customers, how often it comes up. Can imagine just across the globe how often it comes up. So again, we want to protect ourselves. So let's talk about that update lifecycle. So again, as we spoke about earlier, you're in control and manage how your organization receives these updates. Microsoft applies updates to each environment based on your configuration. So again, and they typically come out, there's a window. So for example, they'll give you a certain amount of time to be able to apply those updates. And each new update is designed and developed by Dynamics 365 the team. Any new updates first are validated by the feature team, then validated in combination with the full product. During this time, extensive testing is done on various test topologies. A compatibility checker also runs tests to ensure backwards compatibility. So again, there is that window when we're talking about those major updates. And the major updates are typically made available twice a year in April and October. Sometimes that changes. And then minor updates are rolled out every month. And we can provide some information so you can understand how those updates are sent out to customers, either minor or major. And for Business Central and for finance and operations release plans, you can go under online on a portal and go under the Dynamics 365 and look at the table there to see when those releases are coming up. On the release day for the update, all new signups and all newly created environments, sandbox and production, are directed to the new version. For existing environments that run on the previous version, updates are made available gradually across the supported regions over the coming days and weeks, as indicated earlier, as we spoke about earlier. So timelines, the monthly minor updates contain both application and platform changes that are critical improvements to the service, including regulatory updates. So we don't want to be behind on those for sure. A minor update will roll it across Azure regions over several days and weeks. When the update is available for a specific environment, admins can apply it from the administration center. So again, lots of great communication back and forth about when the major updates and minor updates are happening. And again, you've got that window. And I know during our most recent times, they were giving a bit larger window. And I think now that things are getting back to regular work, there's probably that might be shortened. But again, you'll be informed of that. This is kind of an example in the Business Central world, kind of what's been happening and what is planned out. So D365 is a service that consists of a Microsoft maintained platform and business functionality. Many Microsoft partners provide extra business functionality, such as to address specific or industry or localization needs. So when we talked about those ISVs, both business functionality and service components are monitored continuously and updated as appropriate. New capabilities roll out in release waves that consist of major updates and minor monthly updates. Most capabilities are made available in major updates, but some become available in minor updates. Critical fixes roll out as soon as possible after they are passed tests and have been verified by Microsoft protected staging environment. So again, we want to make sure that we've got the latest updates applied to our environments. Microsoft is committed to delivering predictable updates to the service. All right, the release planner. This is another really cool tool. You can log on to this and you can see here we've got planned, coming soon, try now. So you can go and pick your application and then read about that. And again, when things are updated, you can see that yellow light or yellow highlight lets you know that things have been updated. So again, you are fully aware of what's kind of happening for your environments and what's coming, and you can provide feedback. So let's recap what we talked about. Really easy to remain current when you're in the cloud. Again, it's software as a service. You don't have to go and schedule those large on-premise upgrades. And again, we talked about the considerable cost savings. You've got control over those updates, and there is always proactive communication between yourself and Microsoft. We talked about the improved security, privacy, and reliability, the enabled scalability and flexibility. All great things that we want to have in our modern workplace. So updates are done in minutes, not hours, days, or weeks. So again, really enjoyed sharing with you today on our session about what makes upgrades or updates in the cloud different. And I hope you learned a lot. I sure did.